Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Demanding answers, the Wayne County Medical Examiner called before county commissioners over why the morgue was unaware they had a missing mother for 7 months inside their facility.
One step closer. Pfizer submits its data to the FDA on its vaccine for children 5 to 11. We'll tell you what happens next.
But we're going to begin with breaking news. Detroit City Councilman Andre Spivey pleads guilty and admits to taking tens of thousands of dollars in bribes to award towing contracts. Glad to have you with us at 5. Spivey now becomes the second member of City Council convicted of a felony just this year. In court just a short time ago, he admitted to taking thousands in bribes and laying out exactly how he did it. Defender Sean Lay is following today's hearing. Sean, this happened, over the span of several years, right?
Absolutely. And Spivey told the court it was his idea the entire time to reach out to people, offering them votes, apparently for cash. Spivey just admitted in court behind me it was his idea to take $35,900 in bribes. Spivey says he took the cash, promising to help the people he was dealing with get tow contracts. Spivey says he had 9 meetings over the years where he or a staff member took the cash, and then Spivey says he introduced 2 members of City Council to the people he was taking money from. Mr. Spivey, what will you say to your voters that put you in office? Disgraced Detroit City Council member Andre Spivey refusing to answer questions from the Local 4 defenders. But inside federal court today, he laid out how he approached a member of Detroit's towing industry and said he could steer contracts to that company in return for cash payments. Spivey telling the court late today, quote, "Over the course of 4 years, I received payments in hopes of helping individual retain a city contract." What Spivey didn't know, the person he approached is also a confidential informant working with the feds to bust up public corruption. From 2018 to 2020, Spivey told the court he had 9 meetings where he or one of his staff members took chunks of cash from $4,000 to $14,000 for a total of $35,900 in bribes. U.S. District Judge Victoria Roberts asked Spivey, "You accepted these payments with intent to be influenced or rewarded?" Spivey replied, "Yes, Your Honor." And then another bombshell. Spivey told the court he introduced the same people he was dealing with to 2 other members of Detroit City Council. Elliott Hall, Spivey's attorney, says one of the council members is Scott Benson, also under investigation.
One was Mr. Benson, but never Ms. Ayers, never.
Of course, we reached out to Scott Benson's office and Scott Benson today for comment. No response so far. We'll let you know when he does respond about his name coming up today. We also know that the FBI raided his office and home, also the home and office of Councilmember Janae Ayers back in August. No charges yet filed in that case at all. Spivey's attorney says Spivey will resign from his seat on City Council tomorrow. Also, the FBI says this is their first conviction in part of its wide-ranging corruption investigation called Operation Northern Hook, indicating it's just the beginning. We're live tonight downtown. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Okay, Sean. Also breaking at this hour, what remained of the nation's first FGM case has been dismissed. Dr. Jumana Nagarwala and several others were accused of mutilating the genitals of young girls. U.S. District Judge Bernard Friedman ruled today the prosecution was vindictive in seeking new charges against the doctors. That order comes almost 3 years after Friedman dismissed the charges against the doctors, ruling the federal law preventing FGM was unconstitutional.
Tonight, the FDA has officially started reviewing data on Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11.
Pfizer and its partner BioNTech submitted the research this morning, marking a step forward in efforts to vaccinate younger children. We bring in Dr. Frank McGeorge live now with a closer look at what happens next. Doc?
Yeah, Kim and Devin. So it's important to note, Pfizer still needs to formally submit a request for emergency use authorization for the vaccine for ages 5 to 11, but that is expected to happen soon. You know, with COVID cases rapidly rising in school-aged children, there is growing urgency for a vaccine for this age group.
The FDA is now expected to take several weeks to analyze data collected in Pfizer's phase 3 trial, which included more than 2,000 children. Last year, when Pfizer submitted the data for adults, the green light from the FDA came just 3 weeks later. No one is committing to that timeline this time, but no one is ruling it out either.
They have been extremely efficient and made this a high priority. So I would hope that by the end of October, we'll be there. I can't guarantee it, but I'm hopeful that that will be the case.
There will be significant hurdles to clear. Once FDA scientists finish their data review, the FDA is expected to ask its advisory panel to meet, review the science, and vote on recommendations. Then the FDA makes its decision. A panel of CDC advisors would then meet to consider whether or not to recommend it for use. Final authorization would then be needed from the CDC director. The vaccine for ages 5 to 11 is different, just 1/3 of an adult dose. So, if an emergency use authorization is granted, there will be a slight delay as doses are shipped out across the country.
If they approve it, we will be ready with our manufacturing to provide this new formulation of the vaccine, because the vaccine that the kids will receive, which is 5 to 11, it is a different formulation.
Now, Pfizer and BioNTech say they plan to submit an application to the European Medicines Agency as well to seek authorization for use in children there. They also plan to submit their data to a scientific peer-reviewed publication.
Doc, now obviously we know some parents are very anxious to get their kids vaccinated. Others have the opposite thoughts on this. Any idea on where things stand in general on that front?
Well, Evan, in fact, a new poll out today finds among parents of kids aged 5 to 11, 44% say they were likely to vaccinate their children, and 42% say they were unlikely to do so. Now, those numbers may well change as this review process plays out, but that's a snapshot of where we are right now today.
Neck and neck. All right, Doc. The leader of U.S. Central Command says he believes America should have left some troops in Afghanistan.
General Kenneth McKenzie testified today with other military leaders before the Senate Armed Services Committee. McKenzie shared his personal assessment of the plan that led to the removal of all U.S. service members from the war-torn nation.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. And I also recommended earlier in the fall of 2020 that we maintain 4,500 at that time. Those are my personal views. I also have a view that the withdrawal of those forces would lead inevitably to the collapse of the Afghan military forces and eventually the Afghan government.
Also at the hearing, General Mark Milley testified he had received an order from then-President Donald Trump on November 11th to withdraw all armed forces from Afghanistan by January 15th. That date is notable because it would have taken place 5 days before Trump was set to leave the White House. Trump did eventually pull that order back. Alice Barr has a closer look at everything we learned today. You can watch her report at 5:30.
Pretty much a Chamber of Commerce postcard kind of day here in Metro Detroit.
We like these.
Gorgeous.
Not too hot, not too cold. Sun is shining. Let's get over to Paul. This stretch of nice weather going to be sticking around a little while.
Yeah, it will. And you know, when you think about the fall season, just like spring, it's a season of changes. You usually don't get a long stretch of nice weather like this, but this is what we got. And feast your eyes on 4-zone weather here. 71 in Detroit, 71 in Livonia, Canton, you're at 71, 72 over at Metro, 20 Celsius, that's 68 Fahrenheit over in Harrow, Ontario, 70 in Grosse Ile. In our south zone, we have 69 in Lambertville, 72 in Carleton. Saline, you're at 71 degrees. Dundee, you're at 72. In our west zone, we have 76 in Ypsilanti. I think the thermometer there is reading a little high. That seems consistently too high. But 69 in Whitmore Lake, 68 in Milford, and 70 right now in Flint. And in our north zone, we're looking at generally mid-60s, upper 60s here in northern Oakland County. But notice by the lake here, Deckerville is only 60 degrees. So most of us are going to start the evening in the upper 60s, then drop through the 50s by late evening again, except for those of you along the Lake Huron shoreline where it's cooler. All right, I'll be back with your outlook for the weekend ahead coming up in just a few.
All right, Paul. Ford is going all in on going electric. Company plans to pour $11.5 billion into new plants in Tennessee and Kentucky, adding 11,000 new jobs along the way. We bring in our business editor, Rob Maloney, live tonight with what it means for the industry as a whole. Rod, it is a massive commitment.
It's the biggest Ford's ever made and one of the largest in industry history, and it's one of those things where there is considerable risk involved, as you might expect. Now, they had two press conferences today, one in Tennessee, one in Kentucky. That one just wrapped up here a few minutes ago. Bill Ford told his Tennessee audience the time was right.
We have to be bold, we have to go big, and we have to do it now.
Ford CEO Jim Farley telling his southern audience,
it's time for all of us to lead.
Ford's planned 6-mile square campus for building F-Series electric trucks will get its batteries from 2 new Kentucky plants. Unlike GM, that had plant capacity to build its electric vehicles, Ford needs to build new. Bill Ford combining lifelong passions of being able to profitably build
green vehicles.
These passions have been in tension for my entire life, but no longer. Technology and innovation have brought us to the point where we don't have to sacrifice one for the other.
Gardner auto analyst Mike Ramsey says you cannot overstate the impact here.
It is the no turning back type of investment. You can't plunk down that much money, bulldoze that much area, build that kind of buildings, and then decide later that you're not going to do this.
Yet Ramsey reminds EVs still remain highly risky.
I do think that there are still concerns about how viable electric vehicles are going forward. They're much better than before, but they're still a compromise for many people.
A risk Bill Ford told NBC's Tom Costello he's waited a lifetime to take.
I wish I was 25 again because I love what I see ahead of us.
Now, let's face it, there is considerable sadness here in Michigan that Michigan didn't get these plants, but Michigan just couldn't compete with the incentives that were being offered down there, and not to mention the fact that Ford already has a Kentucky truck plant, though so they have a relationship down there as well. They were lobbied very hard. There are questions about what the UAW and what it means in all of this. It has signed off on this deal. Whether it will mean many UAW jobs down there remains a question. Back to you.
Lots still hang in the air, no doubt about it. All right, Rod. Well, a couple says a man busted into their home and stole their parrot.
But just wait until you hear what sheriffs say really happened, and it's led to a new criminal investigation.
Also, why the state has just decided to change the definition of an outbreak inside a school. Karen.
And in the hot seat, the Wayne County medical examiner called in for questioning after my local 4 defender investigation exposed wrongdoing at the morgue. Coming up next, how do we treat the dead and their families? Could we do better?